It has been about a year and a half since a Rocky Mount police officer was shot in the line of duty. He survived, and just last week, the man who pulled the trigger was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Tonight, only on WRAL, Sergeant Joyner shares his story with WRAL's Destiny Patterson, and it's changed his outlook on law enforcement.
This is part of the routine for Rocky Mount police officer Cameron Joyner. Last year, he went out to what he calls a typical call.
It was kind of like a routine day.
But the day-to-day was interrupted in a split second.
But it felt a lot longer than that. They just sounded like little firecrackers going off.
Joyner and his partner tried arresting Antonio Wilkins Sr. after they received reports of him driving a stolen car. Instead, you can see Wilkins pointing his gun at officers in these pictures taken from body camera footage.
Did anything change for you after that day after you were hit?
It changed the way I handle every call I go to. You know, it is in the back of my mind that, you know, this can happen.
Joyner's gun was hit, injuring his hip.
The suspect was sentenced to 15 years in prison. He's one of 3 suspects sentenced just last week for similar incidents. The U.S. attorney here tells me that behavior won't be tolerated. In the first 4 months of last year, 1 officer was shot on the job. Compared to so far this year, 10 officers have been shot on the job, and that includes the officer shot in Charlotte.
If you resist assault and pull a trigger pointed at a law enforcement officer, we're putting you on a fast track to federal prison.
Now, after a while, it kind of sets in that, you know, you could have lost your life that day. You know, it was, and looking back on it now, you know, I realize how close I was to, you know, not coming home that day.
Now, Joyner says he has a new sense of routine, one that includes more caution. Destiny Patterson, WRAL News.